All right, thank you everyone for joining us this morning for our call with Rasheed Walker. As always, please raise your hand and I'll call on you. If you can limit your turn to one question each, that'll help us get through everyone. We'll start with Audrey Snyder.
Hey Rasheed, good morning. How are you?
How you doing? Good morning. I'm good.
I'm doing well, thank you. Wanted to kind of go back to the off season a little bit, and was there much of a decision for you to make? How'd you kind of work through that process with the NFL, and why did you decide to stay?
Why I decided to stay? Well, I think basically it was kind of a hard decision, but after the season, I kind of like weighed my options with my family, and I just thought it would be best for me to come back and get developed more by Coach Trout. And also, I feel like I had a few personal goals that I was still trying to reach, like getting first team All Big Ten and getting that All American, and also I know the team had a lot of goals, and obviously is to have a championship season. So that's why I came back. That's the main reasons why I came back, and I really feel like we could accomplish those goals this year.
Priscilla.
Good morning, Rasheed. Thanks
Good
for your
morning.
time. Where do you think you can improve off last year? And what's the best piece of advice that Michael Menet and Will Fries gave you?
Well, as an offensive lineman, you can always improve in every aspect of your game. But for me specifically, like this spring, I've really been trying to like focus on my sets, like perfecting my sets, perfecting my punch, pad level, just the basic things. And some things that Michael Menet and Will Fries gave some advice that they gave me was just to like just make sure my football IQ is sharp, because that can really take you a long way as an offensive lineman, as a football player in general. So yeah, those. So my tech, my sets, my punches, pad level, football IQ, all that's all I've been really working on this spring.
We'll go to Tyler Donnie.
Hi, good morning, Rasheed. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Coach Franklin said last week during our call with him that he felt like you had picked it up on the practice field compared to what he saw your first few years. Thinks you're in a good position to maximize your potential. Is that something that you and Coach Troutman have worked on together? Is that just a different mentality maybe you brought this spring? Because it's something he felt worth noting to us on the call.
Well, I've just since I decided to come back, I feel like I took a big step in like the way I've been attacking things like workouts, practice, meetings, lifts, and I just think it started with one of the workouts. I just really attacked one of the workouts and whatnot, and I think it's just all starting to really translate. And Coach Trout just emphasizes to us to have that dog mentality in everything we do, and just to do everything with a purpose. So I think that's where that's coming from. Just being intentional with everything I do, every step I take, every move I make.
New bias Wilborn.
What have you seen? By the way, thank you for doing this, and good morning to you, brother. Hope you're having a good day.
Good morning.
Man, appreciate it. And what have you noticed from Sean Clifford with his leadership so far throughout everything?
Sean Clifford, he's always been a great leader. I feel like we as a team, I feel like we all looked at last year like that season as a lesson, and it just showed us all like how good we can be if we just like focus on the little things. I know that's one thing Sean really focused on too, like just all the little things. And he's real good at like getting everybody riled up, ready to play. So yeah, Sean's been in his bag. Everyone in the quarterback's room been in their bag this off season.
Donnie Collins.
Hi, Rasheed. How much more comfortable do you feel right now with Coach Troutman and what he's trying to teach you guys, as opposed to the beginning of last season when you didn't have the spring practice and had relatively limited amount of time to work with him face to face?
Well, last season, yeah, when Coach Trout got here, he got the coaches up a little bit during one of the workouts. Then COVID came. We didn't see him for about 3 months. But since spring, since we've been in this offseason, like he's just really been like, just working with us on like I said, all the little things, like trying to perfect everyone's set, punch, getting us to play in our legs, like just having us do a bunch of just extra stuff that's going to just give us the edge on everybody else. So I feel like just the way he coaches us allows us to all have that same mindset to try to get better every day, 1% better every day. So yeah, I feel like that's really going to translate and show during the season.
Elton Hayes.
Hey, Rasheed. Thanks for your time this morning. Kind of piggybacking off of Donnie's question, when do you think you guys on the offensive line really caught hold of the offensive line schemes last year? When did it really become a little bit more comfortable and second nature to you all during the season?
Well, last year I feel like so we didn't really have a spring, so we couldn't. So basically we just went into fall camp. That's the first time we really got to run plays together. So I mean, yeah, it took a little bit of time. We had to make a few adjustments, but I really feel like week 6 was the week that we all were just on the same page and really got to put it together, and that's how we got to win out the rest of the season.
David Eckert.
Hey, Rasheed, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
I wanted to go back to your decision to come back. You kind of said that, part of that decision was, being developed by Coach Trout. So I'm wondering what about him made coming back to play for him and learn from him a factor in that decision, if you can kind of explain. Thanks.
So basically how can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You basically said that learning from Coach Trout was a factor in your decision to come back. So I'm wondering what about him made him, somebody.
Well, Coach Trout, one, the guy knows what he's talking about. Like he see like him, being a former NFL offensive tackle, he sees that not everyone else sees. So when I first started working with him, I already thought I was pretty good, but as I worked with him more, he just started to point out a bunch of things that I could work on to be better. And as I trusted him and kept on working his techniques and doing drills he had me do, I felt myself getting better and I felt more confident as an offensive lineman. So I just looked at it as I have time. It's only my 3rd year. I can leave, but I also can come back and just invest more in myself by being coached by Coach Trout for another year to give myself a better shot at the next level.
T. Frank.
Hey, Rasheed, with all that in mind, I think it's something that a lot of us view is kind of like an unknown. What should we expect from you and to a larger degree the offensive line in 2021 with all these things that you're working on and that Phil Troutman is teaching the group?
The main things that I expect out of myself and that you're going to see from me and the rest of the offensive line is I feel like we're all going to be technicians. We're all going to be very disciplined, and we're all going to finish. We're all going to play nasty, hard-nosed football. Because that's all we've been that's how we drill. That's how we've been training. That's how we've been practicing. So it has to translate. And I'm real confident when I say that.
We'll go back to Audrey Smith.
Rasheed, who's been working alongside you at left guard this spring, and what do you like about the options that you guys have there?
Well, that's another thing. Like, Coach, he's always saying he's going to play the best 5 guys. So I've been having Anthony Wiggins beside me. He's doing great. Des Holmes is doing great. A young guy named Salim Wormley is doing very great. He's going to be a very good player. And all of them, I can't even tell you who the best one is because everybody's doing so good. Everyone's developing, getting better every single day. So, yeah, it's I feel real comfortable with whoever I have on my side.
Tyler Donahue.
Yeah, Rasheed across at right tackle, Kayden stepped into that role last fall and seemed to finish pretty well. What are you seeing him year 2 versus year 1 as a contributor? You just went through that experience yourself, and what do you expect from him as a full-time guy in 2021?
I'm gonna say this: Kayden's he's gonna be a very good offensive lineman. Like from the first day, from like the growth that he's had from when he's first got here to now is like it's crazy. Like he's very confident. He's very strong. Like very strong. His technique is getting better every single day, and he's very coachable. So he's gonna be a very good offensive lineman. Like he's gonna be very good. Like he's real big and strong. I think the other day we were doing a little bit of running, and his top speed was like 19 miles per hour or something crazy like that. So yeah, Kayden's gonna be a good football player. He's approaching everything the right way.
Donnie Collins.
Rasheed, you guys lost 2 guys who started something like 70 or 80 games in their careers, but do you still feel like this is an experienced group of linemen? Do you still have that kind of camaraderie and that feel for each other that you had last year with Michael and Fries?
Yeah, for sure. Because like even though that a lot of guys, even though Michael Minnie and Will Fry started all season, everyone was still ready. Like I said, the way Coach Trout trains is like he makes sure everybody in our offensive line room, we can all play every position. We all know every position, and we drill to be able to play every position. So like that, even though we're losing them, I mean, everyone's still gonna have to continue to develop, but I feel like we still gonna be in a real good spot because everyone's still preparing like they're a starter.
T. Frank.
Rasheed, I know it happens to a certain extent every spring ball and in every training camp, but with all the rotation next to you, do you have to be a little more in with communication and with all the unspoken things that go into playing the offensive line to develop chemistry so that when you're on the football field it all works?
So you mean like communicating like with my left guard or whatnot?
Yeah.
Communication is crucial. Like we have a bunch of calls up front, that varies on whatever the defense is doing. But yeah, communication, that's one of the most important parts when playing offensive line, because like literally like it can be times where if I see something and I don't communicate it to the rest of the line, the whole play will blow up. Same for the guard, same for the center, right guard, right tackle, etc. Like so communication is like literally like a major key in playing offensive line and successfully like executing a play, because it's like the play can't go anywhere unless the offensive line blocks everything up right. So if we're not communicating with one another, it's just not going to work.
Tyler Donahue.
Rasheed, Penn State's going to have 2 new starting defensive ends this year. It's a group that we don't know a lot about. You've had a firsthand look. Can you tell us, who's been very difficult to deal with in that spot, and maybe give us a little bit of a scouting report on Arnold Ivakady, the transfer who came in from Temple this winter?
So yeah, AK, he's a very good speed rusher. On the first day of practice, he kind of surprised me with his athletic abilities, his speed, the way he can bend the corner. So he's going to be a real good edge defender for us. We also, so you talking about the DNs or just everybody?
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on the edge rusher guys. Yeah.
Okay, so Adisa Isaac, I'm pretty sure y'all know a little bit about him, but he's special. Like he's fast. He plays hard to the whistle. He's strong. So he's going to do good. We also have Smith Vilbert. I often tell him he reminds me a lot of Jason Pierre-Paul, just by the way he plays and like his measurements and whatnot. And he's going to be a very good player. And Coach Scott, like you can tell, like Coach Scott and Deion Barnes has been putting in extra work with them also, because they're all looking real sharp.
Audrey Snyder.
Rasheed, what else can you kind of tell us about Landon Tang? Obviously a highly touted guy and was able to get in here early.
Well, yeah, Landon Tangwall, he came in very, very sharp. Like you can tell that he had some type of like extra training before he even got to college, because he just came in very sharp. Like he knew his plays when he came in. He He was very athletic. He had a good set. His footwork was good. So I feel like he's going to be a very good offensive lineman here at Penn State. He just has to like just learn his body a little bit more because he's strong as an ox. He's smart, very smart. So he just needs a little bit more time. I can see him being a starter his second year playing. He might even play this year because he's doing very good. Like he's ahead. He's ahead. I can say he came in ahead of everybody else in his class.
Tyler Donahue.
Talking about your class, Drew Scruggs came in with a lot of expectations, didn't get to play because of the car accident, and then now pushing for a starting job. What are you seeing from Juice here in his fourth year on campus? And how excited were you to see the way he finished the 2020 season?
Man, Juice, he's actually my roommate, man. His work ethic is so crazy. Like, honestly, if someone just came in and didn't know nothing about him, no one would have ever thought that he was even in that situation just by the way he approaches every day, every workout, meetings. Like, he's my roommate, so like we're like accountability partners, so we're always pushing and driving each other to go get extra work. So yeah, Juice, he's gonna be great. He's doing very good. He's very strong, very smart. So I think he's actually starting right now at right guard. So yeah, he's gonna have a heck of a season.
Time for two more questions. T. Frank.
Hey, Rasheed, you're mentioning the different types and skill sets, the edge rushers. Do you go up against like ask to get extra work with specific guys if they're a style that challenges you individually, so you can get better at defending that type of rusher?
Yeah, like for example, with one-on-ones, I usually try to go up against like the best DNs that we have. So Adisa, Smith, AK, and also like Nick Tauber. And like after practice, I'll get some sets in with them. Like they'll practice their get-offs and I'll practice my set. So like we can just like adjust to each other. So yeah, we always getting extra work in on the field and off the field. We sit in the classroom with each other, all that.
Last question, Audrey.
Rasheed, what's been the most impressive play that someone's made this spring on either side of the ball?
The most impressive play. Shoot. I mean, yesterday, Cam Sullivan Brown had a crazy one hand catch off the back shoulder on the sideline yesterday on somebody. I don't know, but I was blocking and looked up and seen it. And I was very impressed because I know we didn't get to see a lot of Cam last year, so it's just great to see him doing those crazy things. But yeah, Cam Sullivan Brown had a crazy one hand catch on the sideline on like two defenders yesterday.
Thanks, Rasheed.